I was just standing in my kitchen the other night, looking into the fridge, and I had this really quiet, weird feeling of defeat. Like, I was just wondering, why are we always at war with our food? Why does eating feel like such a massive battle?
Oh, I mean, it totally does. It feels like a full-time job just trying to figure out what to put on a plate.
Right. And we have spent, what, like decades doing this? I mean, if you look back at the 90s, we were all told that fat was the absolute enemy. We stripped it out of everything.
Yeah, the era of the dry chicken breast.
Exactly. The dry chicken, the fat-free cookies that tasted like cardboard, the skim milk. We were just, starving ourselves of fat. And we all just felt awful, and the world just kept getting heavier anyway.
Which is so wild because then the whole culture just flipped completely.
Right. Then it was like, okay, fat is fine, but carbs are the villain. So we threw out the bread, and we started putting, like, thick slabs of butter into our morning coffee.
Right, the whole low-carb wave,
Right.
just avoiding a banana like it was toxic.
Yeah. And we spent all this time and probably billions of dollars jumping from one extreme to the other. But the underlying tension, that feeling in our bodies, hasn't really gotten better. I just always wondered why doing the right thing makes us feel so tired.
It is such a common feeling, and I think the reason we feel so exhausted by it all is that we are looking at this deeply human, complex body through a really narrow lens. Like, we just want a simple rule to follow.
A quick fix, yeah.
Right. But your body is not a machine that just follows one rule. It is a living ecosystem. And when we try to force it into these rigid camps, like only fat or only carbs, we end up ignoring the quiet signals it sends us every single day.
So let's unpack that, because I think if you were listening to this right now, you have probably felt that same frustration. You've probably felt that same guilt when you eat a piece of bread, or that confusion when a diet just stops working.
Oh, absolutely. The guilt is the heaviest part of it all.
It really is. So instead of going over all the tired old rules, let's just talk about how the body actually runs. How does it handle the fuel we give it?
Well, at its core, your body has one main goal, right? It just wants to keep you alive and safe.
Right.
And to do that, your brain, your heart, your muscles, they all need a steady, ongoing supply of energy. And the body is just beautiful in how it adapts to get that energy.
It pulls from different places, doesn't it?
Yeah, mostly two places. When you eat carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into simple sugars, like glucose. That is fast, easy fuel. Your brain loves it.
Okay, so carbs are the fast fuel.
Exactly. And when you eat fat, your body breaks that down into fatty acids. It is a slower, more dense kind of fuel.
And we can run on both.
We can. Under normal conditions, your body is thrilled to run on that fast fuel from carbs. But if that runs low, so you haven't eaten for a few hours, or you were asleep, your system just gently shifts over to burning fat.
It sounds so peaceful when you describe it like that.
It is. It is meant to be this seamless, natural rhythm. But then we start messing with the math. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, there is a baseline truth we cannot ignore.
Energy balance.
Right. If you take in more total energy than your body needs to run your life, it has to put that extra energy somewhere.
It stores it.
Yeah, it stores it as body fat. That is the one rule neither diet camp can escape.
But both camps try to hack that rule, don't they?
Hmm.
Like the low-fat camp, their whole thing was about how dense fat is.
Oh, the density is wild. Dietary fat packs a massive amount of energy into a tiny space.
Right. It's like, what is it? More than double the energy of a carb.
Yep. So if you picture a dinner plate, right, you could have this giant filling bowl of steamed broccoli.
Which is mostly carbs.
Exactly. Mostly carbs and fiber. And that whole giant bowl might be 50 units of energy. But if you take a bottle of olive oil and just do a heavy pour over that broccoli...
Which tastes amazing, by the way.
Oh, it's delicious. But that 3-second pour just added 200 units of energy to the meal.
Wow.
Yeah, and the physical volume of the food didn't change at all. Your stomach doesn't feel any more stretched or full. So the low-fat camp says, hey, fat is so dense, it is way too easy to overeat without your brain even noticing.
That makes total sense. I mean, you can eat a handful of nuts and not feel full, but it's a huge amount of fuel.
Exactly. But then you have the low-carb camp, and they look at it from a totally different angle. They don't care about the volume. They care about hormones.
Right, the famous one, insulin.
Yes. When you eat carbs, mostly the heavy, refined ones like white bread or sugary drinks, they digest so fast. Your blood gets flooded with sugar.
And the body panics a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
Having too much sugar in the blood is dangerous, so your body sends out insulin to clean it up.
You know, the way I always picture this, and I think about this all the time, I picture insulin as this really strict nightclub bouncer.
Oh, I love that. A strict bouncer.
Yeah. So you eat a big plate of pasta,
Huh?
and the blood sugar goes up. The insulin bouncer comes out, unhooks the velvet rope, and just gives that sugar the total VIP treatment. It rushes the sugar out of the bloodstream and packs it into your cells.
Right, getting it off the streets.
Exactly. But while the bouncer's doing that, it completely locks the doors to your stored fat. It basically says, nope, no burning fat right now. We have to deal with all this sugar first.
That is a perfect way to look at it. And if your cells are already full of energy, the bouncer tells your liver to just pack up the extra sugar and store it as new body fat.
So that's why the low-carb people say we have to avoid carbs.
Right, because if you eat a meal of mostly fat, it digests so slowly it doesn't wake the bouncer up.
So the doors to the fat cells stay unlocked.
That is the theory, yeah. Keep insulin quiet, and you can just burn fat all day.
But wait, if the bouncer's locking away the fat, how does that fit with the baseline rule we just talked about?
The total energy rule.
Yeah, like if I eat 1,000 extra calories of pure fat, the bouncer might be asleep, but I still have 1,000 extra calories. Why do we even care about the carbs and the fat if the total amount of fuel is what builds the tissue?
That is the million-dollar question, and people have actually tested this in real life. They wanted to know if cutting carbs had some kind of magic to it. Like, could you beat the basic math just by keeping the bouncer asleep?
And how do you even test that without people just, snacking when no one is looking?
You have to do it in a very controlled way. They put people in a living facility where they watch every single thing they eat. Every bite is weighed.
Wow, okay, so no cheating.
Zero cheating. And they gave one group a diet with very low fat and the other group a diet with very low carbs. But the total energy cut was exactly the same for both groups.
Okay, so the math was identical, just different food.
Exactly. And when you strip away the real world, the stress, the snacking, the late nights, what do you think happened?
I mean, if the math is the same,
Yeah.
did they lose the same amount?
They lost the exact same amount. It was nearly identical.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it completely broke this idea that manipulating insulin gives you a free pass. When the energy math is the same, the body drops the weight the same way.
But, and this is huge, but we don't live in a locked room where someone weighs our food.
No, we really don't. We live out here in the messy, real world.
Right. We have crazy work deadlines. We have kids waking us up at night. We have fast food signs glowing at us when we drive home feeling totally drained.
And that is exactly where the rigid rules fall apart. Because when they tried testing this in the real world, they took hundreds of people and told half of them to eat low carb and half to eat low fat and just let them live their normal lives for a year.
What happened then?
The average result between the two groups was a total tie. On average, they lost the exact same amount.
Which makes it sound like it doesn't matter what you choose.
It does sound like that. But here is where it gets so fascinating. If you look closely at the people inside those groups, the averages were the same, but the humans were completely different.
What do you mean?
Well, in the same group, say, the low-carb group, one person might feel amazing, get all their energy back and drop 30 pounds. But another person in that exact same group, eating the exact same way, would feel horrible, be tired all day, and actually gain weight.
Wait, really? On the exact same plan?
Yes. And the same thing happened in the low-fat group. Massive wins for some, total struggles for others.
Okay, so if the averages are tied, but the individual people are having these wildly different responses, doesn't that mean we're just obsessing over the wrong thing?
We completely are.
I mean, it can't just be about carbs versus fat if it is that random.
No, it is not random at all. It is about something much deeper. When a diet like low carb works for someone in the real world, it is almost never because of some magic hormone trick.
Why does it work then?
Usually it is because when you cut out carbs, you naturally end up eating a lot more protein.
Oh, like eggs and meat and beans.
All right. And protein makes you feel incredibly full. Plus, your body actually works hard just to digest it, which burns energy.
So they just feel less hungry.
Exactly. And maybe more importantly, going low carb forces you to stop eating packaged junk food.
Because almost all packaged food is just cheap carbs.
Right. So they aren't winning because they beat the insulin bouncer. They are winning because they finally feel full and they stopped eating factory food. They end up eating less without even trying.
But then why do some people still feel so awful doing it? Like, why did the other half of the group struggle so much?
Because of their unique, deeply personal biology, we are learning things now that just blow the old rules out of the water. For instance, you and I could sit down right now and eat the exact same banana.
Okay.
And my blood sugar might stay perfectly flat, while yours might spike up like a roller coaster from the exact same piece of fruit.
That is just so wild to me. How is that even possible?
It comes down to gut health. You have trillions of tiny microbes living in your digestion, and they're like your own personal engine.
The microbiome.
Yes, they break down the food you eat,
Mm.
and your microbes are completely different from mine.
So my body might pull a ton of fast sugar out of a potato,
Mm-hmm.
and your body might just process it slowly and gently.
Exactly. And here's the thing that really trips people up. Your gut health changes over time.
Oh, right. As we age.
Yes, it changes with age. It changes when you go through periods of heavy stress. It changes if you don't sleep, or even if you just took some medicine for a cold last year.
Which explains so much. I hear this all the time. People say, I did this diet when I was 25 and I felt amazing, and now I am 38. I am trying the exact same thing and I feel like garbage.
And they blame themselves. They think they lost their willpower, or they think their body is broken.
But it's not broken.
No, your internal engine just updated. The old rules literally do not apply to the body you live in today.
That is so freeing, honestly, to just know it isn't a failure of willpower.
It has nothing to do with willpower.
Mm.
And speaking of willpower, we have to talk about the real reason we feel so out of control around food today. It isn't the carbs, and it isn't the fat.
It's what they do to the food.
Yes, the manufacturing process.
Like ultra-processed stuff.
Right. They did another really careful test on this. They gave people meals that had the exact same amount of carbs, the exact same fat, protein, sugar, fiber. On paper, the meals were identical,
Okay.
but one set of meals was made of whole foods, real plants, and grains, and the other was highly processed factory food.
Let me guess. People ate more of the factory food.
A lot more. They ate about 500 extra units of energy every single day when they ate the processed food.
500, just by accident.
Without even knowing it, they didn't feel any more full.
How does that happen if the fiber and everything is the same?
Because of the texture. Factory foods are designed to be too soft. They're basically pre-chewed by machines.
Pre-chewed. There's a gross way to think about it, but it's so true.
It is. When you eat a whole food, like a real apple or some almonds, you have to chew it. And as it fills your stomach actually stretches.
And that sends a signal to the brain.
Yes, it tells the brain, hey, we are getting full down here. You can stop eating soon. Plus, it takes a long time for your system to break down real plant fibers.
Right, it's slow work.
But the factory food, it has no real structure. It just melts in your mouth. You swallow it so fast that you can eat a massive amount of energy in 5 minutes.
And the brain hasn't even registered that you took the first bite.
Exactly. The food absorbs into your blood before the fullness signals even turn on.
I see this so clearly in everyday life. Like, I have friends who drove themselves crazy counting every single gram of fat, eating dry chicken, and they were just miserable.
White-knuckling it through the day.
Yes. And then they tried flipping it, doing strict keto, eating bacon and cheese, but being terrified of a carrot, and they were still so tired.
Because they were fighting their natural rhythm.
Right. And they only started feeling good, getting their energy back, when they just stopped fighting. They stopped labeling things as good carbs or bad fats.
Me just ate real food.
Just real food, plants, fish, whole grains, unengineered food, and their brain fog just lifted. They stopped feeling that artificial raging hunger.
Because when you eat real food, your body's natural alarm system finally turns back on. You can actually feel when you are full.
But food is only part of the story, isn't it? Because even if we eat perfectly, the way we live our lives right now is totally changing how our body handles that food.
Oh, absolutely. The food is just one piece of the puzzle. The bigger piece is your environment.
Like stress.
Stress is a massive one. If you are dealing with endless work emails, or you are worried about family, or you are just feeling that daily heavy pressure, your body is soaking in a stress hormone called cortisol.
And cortisol is like an alarm bell.
It is the ultimate survival alarm. It tells your brain, we are in grave danger, we need to fight or run away.
But we aren't running away. We are just sitting at a desk.
Right. But your body doesn't know that. It just knows it needs quick, explosive energy to survive the danger.
So it asks for sugar.
Yes. Cortisol makes your body crave fast carbs. And worse, it actually makes the insulin bouncer work overtime. It wants to store fat around your middle just in case a famine is coming. And at the same time, that heavy stress blocks the signals in your brain that tell you you are full.
So you were stressed? Your brain thinks you're starving, and your body is literally primed to store fat.
Exactly.
And then you add bad sleep to that, like when you were scrolling on your phone in bed until 1 in the morning.
Oh, sleep is the absolute anchor. They looked at healthy people and just cut their sleep from 8 hours down to 5.5 hours for a few days.
Which is pretty normal for a lot of people.
Very normal. And within days, their biology totally flipped. The hormone that makes you hungry just skyrocketed.
Because the brain is tired.
Yes. Being awake takes energy. If you don't get the deep rest of sleep, your brain panics and demands fast fuel to keep your eyes open.
So it begs for sugar again.
Always sugar.
You know, that is such a huge shift in how we think. If you are listening to this and you find yourself standing at the fridge at midnight, eating a whole sleeve of cookies because you're just so drained.
It is not a moral failure.
No, it is not a lack of willpower. It is your body working exactly as it was designed to. It is trying to save you from exhaustion.
Yeah.
You are fighting sleep deprivation and factory-engineered food that is tricking your brain.
It is a totally unfair fight.
So how do we step out of the fight? If we want to stop battling our plates and actually work with our bodies, what are the gentle steps we can take today?
The best place to start is just noticing protein, not obsessing over it, but just leaning into it.
Whether you prefer more carbs or more fat, just add the protein.
Right. Protein is so deeply satisfying to the body. It takes energy to break down, and it sends a really strong, calming signal to the brain that you are well fed.
You naturally just stop looking for the junk food.
Exactly. It crowds out the cravings on its own.
I love that. What else?
Movement. Just gentle, simple movement.
Like going to the gym for an hour.
Not even that. Just taking a 10-minute walk right after you eat dinner.
Wait, really? Just 10 minutes?
It is so powerful. When you walk after a meal, your leg muscles need energy, so they just pull the sugar straight out of your blood to use as fuel.
Oh, so they bypass the bouncer.
Exactly. The insulin doesn't even have to come out in huge waves because your muscles are just quietly soaking up the fuel while you walk. It keeps your energy so steady.
That is beautiful. Just a gentle walk.
Very gentle. And the other really important thing is just looking at what you drink.
Liquid calories.
Yeah. Things like sweet coffees, sodas, even big fruit smoothies.
Because they melt too fast.
Faster than melt. They are already liquid. They wash over your system instantly. Your stomach doesn't stretch. Your brain doesn't register any chewing, so you get all this energy, but you stay completely hungry.
You could drink 300 calories of coffee and still want a full breakfast.
Right. So just try to drink water or tea and eat your food in its solid form.
Eat real whole foods.
Yes. Whole grains like oats or beans or lentils.
I heard oats have a special kind of fiber in them.
They do. It forms this thick, soothing gel in your digestion. It coats your stomach and slows everything down.
So the energy just trickles in.
A nice, slow trickle. No spikes, no crashes. Same with whole fats, like an avocado or olive oil. They digest slowly and give your brain the building blocks it needs for good mental health.
So it really all comes down to this. We don't have to choose a side. We don't have to be on team carb or team fat.
The debate is completely false. It is just a distraction.
Right. If you are listening, the secret isn't finding the perfect rule to follow or the perfect thing to ban from your house. It is about letting go of the war entirely.
Stepping out of the ring.
Yes, protect your rest. Try to ease your stress. Lean into protein, take a quiet walk after you eat, and just choose food that actually looks like food.
It is just about listening. Your body is always talking to you. We just have to quiet down enough to hear it.
I mean, think about it. Our bodies are constantly changing. What if the perfect way to eat isn't a rule book you memorize once and follow forever? What if it is just a lifelong, gentle conversation with yourself? Paying attention to what gives you real energy and what takes it away. You don't have to fight anymore. You just have to listen.
These thoughts, these questions, they don't have to stop here. Wellness Geeks has many more podcasts and videos just like this one. Subscribe to the channel and explore other episodes. They all flow the same gentle way. If this podcast felt genuinely useful to you, share it with even one person in your life. That one share can bring a real change in someone's life, and it helps Wellness Geeks reach more people who truly need this. If this brought you real value, look for the join button right next to the Wellness Geeks logo below this video. Click it and become a member of the Wellness Support Circle. Your support helps honest health awareness reach thousands who are silently struggling. Wellness Geeks moves forward because of you. Thank you so much from the heart for being here.